If you're over the age of 50 and you're afraid of falling backwards, then don't go anywhere, because in today's video, I'm going to reveal 2 big reasons for backwards falls and how to fix both of them. If you don't know who I am, my name is Harlow and I'm the Over-Fifties specialist physio here at HT Physio in Farnham. And it's my job to keep over-50s happy, active, independent, mobile and strong as they get older. So backwards falls are really, really common. And as I said, there's 2 major reasons for them. And thankfully, both of those reasons can be solved. So we're going to look at solving both of them with a couple of different exercises today. But before I show you the exercises, I just need to let you know that these are not going to be suitable for everyone. Please do get checked out by your doctor before you give them a try. And if they cause you any pain, then please just avoid them. Anyway, let's have a look at the reasons for falling backwards and how to prevent it now. There is one major reason why people fall backwards, and luckily it can be fixed. And that reason is tightness in their posterior chain. Let me explain what I mean. So I'm going to tell you a story. So I had a patient, or I've got a patient now, who comes in to see me, and when I see him walk, he looks pretty stable when he's walking forward. But when he stops, he starts to stumble backwards. And I can't stand speaking to him without wanting to put a chair behind him, because he always looks like he's going to fall backwards. Now, when I looked at this guy and I spoke to him, he said his main problem was the fact that he always feels like he's going to topple backwards and he doesn't trust himself standing. And I could completely see it when he stood in front of me. So when I assessed him, what I found was that he was very tight in his calves, very tight in his hamstrings, and very tight in his lower back and his glutes as well. You might be thinking, well, why is that relevant? Well, I'll show you why that's relevant right now. So what was happening to my patient was this. Now, excuse the drawing, it's not going to win me any awards, and I certainly didn't get a very good grade in GCSE art, but hopefully it illustrates the point really well. So this is my gentleman here, and what we've got here is a nice green line down the middle of the body where the center of gravity should be. So the center of gravity is this big green dot, and that line is the line of force which shows how his weight is being held inside his body. So when he stood still, he's not tilting forward, he's not tilting back, because that center of mass is right in the middle of where he is. Now, if you end up with tight calves, tight hamstrings, tight glutes, and a tight lower back set of muscles, just like my guy did, then your center of gravity starts to move backwards. And it becomes exactly where this orange dotted line is. And this big orange dot there is exactly where the center of gravity ended up. It went from being in the middle of the body to being in the back of the body, which means all of his weight is back on his heels. So all it would take is a big gust of wind to knock him backwards, because all the weight is back here, and it was no wonder he wasn't very stable on his feet. And I can prove that was happening because of the results of our foot scan that we did on him when he came in. And the foot scan is a clever machine that basically shows where your center of gravity is, or where you're putting your weight through on your feet as you stand. And the results you can see up in the corner of the screen right now. You can see that the green areas of the feet are where there wasn't very much pressure, and the red areas of the feet are where there were tons of pressure. And when we quantify that in numbers, he was putting 80% of his weight through his heels. So that was a major problem, because it meant that all the time his weight was almost behind him, it was right on his heels. So all it would take is a gust of wind hitting him from the front for him to fall backwards. So that's a long-winded way of saying if you have tightness in the back of your body, you are going to be prone to falling backwards. Thankfully, it's something we can fix, and I'm going to show you a couple of stretches to resolve that posterior chain tightness now and make you safer on your feet so you won't fall backwards. Let's have a look at the stretches now. So here's the first exercise we use to fix my patient's problem. And this is called the chair tap, and it's a great little exercise to help you get used to that shifting center of gravity underneath your feet, and it should help you whilst your weight is still very much at the back of your heels. It will help you to improve your stability. So it's super easy. All we're going to do is start standing with a chair behind us like this. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to practice taking the center of gravity out behind us, but resisting the urge to topple backwards. So this is how the exercise looks. You're going to stick your bottom out, which takes your weight even further behind you. But because you've tilted forward with your shoulders at the same time, you're keeping a nice equilibrium. And when you've got that, you're going to squat down, just try and touch the chair and then come back up like that. So really it's like a squat, but what we're doing is we're just looking for that feedback that the bottom's gone down far enough. My weight's very much on my heels, but I'm resisting the momentum of a backward fall, and then I'm coming back up again. So what we're practicing here is using our upper half as a counterweight to bring the weight of our body forward onto our feet, so the center of gravity moves forward. Okay, so as I'm going down like this, what I'm tempted to do is just to allow myself to drop back. We want to resist that, but if it does happen a couple of times, don't worry, because the chair is right there, so nothing bad is going to happen, but we want to practice resisting it, not letting it happen. So again, we start up like this, stick your bottom out, use your shoulders as a counterweight, keep your back nice and straight, just touch, and then come back up. And you'll get the lovely added benefit of stronger legs from doing this, which can only be a good thing for trying to stop falls. And this is a great way just to get you used to that shifting momentum under your feet. So now we've done that, we're going to talk about this posterior tightness and how to fix it. I've got 2 stretches for you. We're going to start with the hamstrings. Let's get into it. So your hamstrings are the muscle group at the back of the thigh. And when your hamstrings are tight, that brings your body weight backwards and your center of gravity onto your heels, which is a bad thing for backwards falls. So let's talk about how to fix hamstring tightness. I'm going to show you how to stretch them from a chair. This is my favorite place to stretch hamstrings from. I just think it's the easiest thing, and you can do it from a dining room chair or a sofa. So all we're going to do is sit perched on the edge of the chair like this. So you're just sitting on your sitting bones, and you're going to put the leg to be stretched out in front of you like this, with the heel resting on the floor. The other knee is going to be bent with the foot nice and flat. And the one we're going to be stretching, we don't want to be pulling the toes up towards us. We want those toes to be relaxed, falling away from us like that, which means we won't stretch the sciatic nerve. I mean, that's a good thing to avoid, okay? So we're going to put 2 hands on the bent knee. Keep your back nice and straight, okay? So this is not an exercise where we bend the spine. And then we're going to hinge forward just at the hips. So you can see here my back is perfectly straight. I'm moving from here, not from here, okay? It's really important. And if you're doing it correctly, I can only get to there before I start to get a real stretch in that hamstring. And once we've got it, it's a nice stretch. It shouldn't feel like anything's going to pull or snap. We're just going to hold it for 30 seconds, just keeping ourselves in that stretch. If we feel it ease up, we can lean forward a little bit more just as it gives. And then a full 30-second hold is brilliant for this. And then you can swap and do the other side. So you bend this knee, straighten that one, keep the foot floppy, 2 hands on this knee, keep your back tall, and then again hinge forward at the hips, keep the back straight. And now I've got a stretch coming down the back of this thigh here. And it's 30 seconds. You can do it once on each leg, but try and do it 3 or 4 times per day. So come back to it on multiple occasions. That's the best way to stretch a muscle. So that's your hamstrings. The other thing that was tight, that was causing my gentleman to have the weight all on his heels, was his calf. So we're going to show you how to stretch that now. Before we go any further, I just want to tell you about a very special bonus I've created for viewers of this channel. It's called the Complete Guides to Building Muscle and Strength over the age of 50. And if you're someone who is a little bit confused about how to go about starting the process of building muscle and strength, you don't know what equipment to use or what exercises to choose, this is perfect for you. It's an exclusive 25-minute video that you can't find anywhere else, where I teach you all the ins and outs of building muscle and strength specific for people over the age of 50. So it's one of the best things I've created. I'm giving it totally for free to viewers of this channel. All you need to do is scroll down below this video. There's a link in the description where you can sign up. I'll send you the video straight away and you can get started. It's some of my best info, and if you use it, I hope you enjoy. So stretching the calves is very, very easy. We just need a wall or a worktop to put our hands against. You're going to face the wall. You're going to put the leg to be stretched behind you. You're going to have that heel down on the floor and the back leg nice and straight. This leg is going to be pointing parallel, so same direction, but we're going to bend the front knee, keeping the back heel on the floor, and bring your body weight slightly forward until you feel a stretch coming down the back of that calf. Then we're just going to hold that stretch again for 30 seconds, really trying to push the heel down into the floor. It's a good way to do it. You can push your heel down and you can intensify the stretch. Alternatively, you can push your toes into the floor and intensify the stretch as well. That's another really good way to rapidly stretch those calves. But it's that nice 30-second hold, which is where the magic is. Now, once you've done that, you can swap. So put the other one at the back, bring the other one forward, keep this leg nice and straight. You should already feel that stretch in the calf. Resist the temptation to bend the knee. Bend that front knee though, keep that one bent. Bring it forward like this until you feel the pull. Again, 30 full seconds. And again, come back to that a few times per day if you do have tightness there. And I promise you, over the period of a few weeks, you can bring your center of gravity forward on your feet towards the middle of the foot rather than the back of the foot. And we actually moved my patient's center of gravity back to the middle of the foot by about 10–20% in a space of just 2 weeks. So it doesn't take very long. It just takes a concerted effort and some consistency, and you'll do just fine. So that's my advice on how to prevent backwards falls. I hope this saves at least one person from a backward fall, because they're terribly scary and obviously they can be catastrophic. So if I've saved one person from falling backwards, I'll be happy. Please do let me know if you found this video helpful by leaving a comment below, because they do help us to improve this channel. And if you want to get more from me, the best way to do so is to pick up a copy of my book. It's called Thriving Beyond 50, and you can find it on Amazon using the link below. It's got loads of advice and exercises like the stuff in this video inside, and hopefully it will help you to prevent falls and stay on your feet for years to come. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate your time, and I'll speak to you again on the next video.